Welcome to NFL Nexus. So let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts 2025 season. It wasn't just a letdown, it was like watching a train go completely off the rails in slow motion. For 10 weeks, they looked like real, legitimate contenders, and then the bottom just fell out. So the huge, nagging question all over Indianapolis has been pretty simple. How in the world do you fix a team that just broke that completely? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down the fascinating blueprint the front office has put together. It's a two-pronged attack, really, that pits their long-held draft philosophy against an urgent, desperate need for results right now. We're going to see how they plan to turn that epic collapse into a real playoff run. So if you're a fan of deep dive NFL strategy, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we'd love to hear what you think of the Colts plan down in the comments. And real quick, if you want to help support the channel, you can check out our collection of football coloring books through the link in the description.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, to really get what the solution is, we have to understand just how bad the problem was by taking a look at the collapse. Then, we'll dive into the mind of GM Chris Ballard and his, well, let's call it an obsession with a certain type of athlete. That's going to lead us right to their big free agency plan to fix a pass rush that just wasn't there, and it all revolves around a key coaching reunion. And finally, we'll put all the pieces together to see how it forms this really slick strategy. Draft for raw potential, but sign for immediate, proven production. Let's get into it.
To really understand the Colts offseason, you have to wrap your head around the pure whiplash of their 2025 season. It was genuinely a tale of two completely different teams playing in the same uniforms. One looked like a world beater, and the other just couldn't buy a win. The change was so sudden and so complete.
And this number right here, this is the heart of the whole problem. After this incredible 8-2 start that had the entire city dreaming about a Super Bowl, the Colts lost 7 straight games to finish the season. A 7-game losing streak isn't just a slump. It's a sign that something deep inside the team fundamentally broke. It just shattered morale and exposed some major flaws that were maybe hidden by all that early winning.
This table just lays it all out, and man, is it brutal. The contrast is just jarring. For the first 10 games, they're an 8-2 powerhouse, winning games by an average of 9 points. They look like one of the best teams in the conference. In the final 7 games, they were a total disaster, couldn't win a single game, and were losing by an average of 11. Going from a 13-win pace all the way down to an 8-9 losing record, that's not just a slump, that's proof of a major crack in the foundation of the team.
Okay, so where was that crack? Well, the numbers point pretty clearly in one direction. The defense. Yeah, their run defense was okay, but that's kind of where the good news stops. They were 23rd in total defense, 21st in scoring, and here's the absolute killer stat, 31st in pass defense, second to last in the entire league. You just can't win in today's NFL when your secondary is that vulnerable. Quarterbacks were completing over 68% of their passes during that losing streak. And yeah, 39 sacks, it looks decent on paper, but it was nowhere near enough pressure to help out that struggling secondary. This failure on defense is the key to their entire offseason. So how does this front office usually try to build a team? Well, it starts with their core philosophy.
To really get the Colts, you got to get inside the head of their general manager, Chris Ballard. He has a very clear, very specific way of thinking when it comes to the NFL draft. It's a belief he has that really dictates who they target year in and year out. And it's basically an obsession with raw, undeniable athleticism. And the key to understanding this whole philosophy is a metric called the Relative Athletic Score, or RAS. For anyone who doesn't know, RAS basically takes all of the players' combine numbers, their 40 time, vertical jump, all those drills, and boils it down to one single score, from 0 to 10. Then it compares that score to every other player at that position who's tested since 1987. It pretty much tells you on a historical level if a guy's a freak athlete. A score over a 9.0 is considered elite, and that's exactly where Chris Ballard loves to shop.
And make no mistake, this is not a coincidence. It is a deliberate team-building strategy. Ballard consistently goes after these freak athletes. The thinking is simple, right? You can coach a guy on technique, you can teach him a playbook, but you can't teach world-class speed or explosive power. So Ballard bets on those raw traits. He goes out and finds the best athletic clay he can, and then he trusts his coaching staff to mold it into a great football player.
And you want to see this philosophy in its most extreme form? You don't have to look any further than their franchise quarterback, Anthony Richardson. His performance at the Combine was just legendary. I mean, at 6'4", 244 pounds, the guy ran a 4.43 40 and set quarterback records with a 40.5-inch vertical and a 10'9" broad jump. That combination of size and explosion is almost unbelievable.
It got him a perfect 10.00 RAS score, making him literally the single most athletic quarterback prospect since they started keeping track in 1987. He is the poster child for the Ballard method.
And this commitment to pure athleticism, it's not just the QB, it's all over the roster. You've got wide receiver Alec Pierce, a 9.82 RAS. A guy whose 40-inch vertical lets him just go up and get it. Star running back Jonathan Taylor is a 9.53 with that blazing 4.39 speed that can turn any little crease into 6 points. And it's not just the skill guys. Even their all-pro guard Quentin Nelson put up a 9.67 RAS, which for his size is just incredible. The pattern is crystal clear. The Colts build their foundation by drafting the best athletes they can find.
But, and this is a big but, this brings us to the most critical question for this offseason. The Colts have huge immediate needs on defense, especially with their pass rush and in the secondary. And to make matters worse, they don't have a first-round pick this year. So can they really afford to just rely on their usual strategy of drafting these raw athletes who might need some time to get up to speed? A long-term plan doesn't always fix a right-now problem. That 0-7 collapse demands an immediate answer, which is why Ballard's athletic obsession is only one half of the solution.
And this is where the other piece of the puzzle clicks into place. If the draft is for building your future with these high-ceiling athletes, then free agency has to be for solving your present-day emergencies, and the Colts have a 5-alarm fire they need to put out.
Sports Illustrated thinks the Colts are going to go after a certified game wrecker, Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson. This is the complete opposite of drafting for potential. This is about buying a finished product. The guy has 81 career sacks and a motor that just never stops. And get this, he had back-to-back seasons with an insane 17.5 sacks in 2023 and 2024. I mean, come on. Adding a player like that would instantly change the entire identity of the Colts defense. It tackles their biggest weakness head-on.
But here's where it gets really, really interesting. Signing a guy like Hendrickson isn't just about plugging a hole with a great player. There's a much deeper, more strategic reason for targeting him specifically. It's not some random star they're chasing. The real key to this whole thing is a reunion with a coach who's already in their building.
The common thread, the secret ingredient connecting their free agency targets, is their defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo. See, before he came to Indy, Anarumo was the DC for the Cincinnati Bengals, and his history there is the key that unlocks his entire plan to fix the defense. He already knows exactly how to use these guys. Under Anarumo in Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson put up those two monster 17.5 sack seasons, the best stretch of his entire career. Anarumo's aggressive scheme just let him pin his ears back and go. But he's not the only one. Cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt also had his best seasons playing for Anarumo. In 2 years, he racked up 7 interceptions and 27 pass deflections. He looked like one of the best young corners in the league. You see the pattern here? Now this is where the strategy gets really clever. With their veteran corner Charvarius Ward possibly retiring, the Colts could have another giant hole in that pass defense. So enter Cam Taylor-Britt. He's got the talent, he's ranked as the 7th best free agent corner out there. But here's the crucial detail. After Anarumo left Cincy, they changed their defensive scheme, and Taylor-Britt's performance reportedly, quote, fell off a cliff. It got so bad he was even benched. This creates a perfect storm. The Colts could potentially sign a top-tier talent for a bit of a discount, all because they're betting that putting him back with the coach who made him great is all he needs. It's a calculated, low-risk, high-reward kind of move.
Okay, so let's put it all together. What might have looked like a bunch of separate moves actually crystallizes into one single, really smart off-season plan. It's a 2-part mission. It's designed to fix the problems right now without sacrificing the future.
And here it is, the Colts' 2-pillar strategy. It's so simple when you see it laid out like this. Pillar 1 is the Ballard way. Use the draft to load up on elite athletes like Richardson and Taylor. You're betting on those incredible traits for long-term success. Pillar 2 is the Anarumo fix. Use free agency to go get proven veterans who you already know can succeed in your D coordinator's exact system. It gives you an immediate plug-and-play solution, and it cuts down on the risk you usually get with big free agent signings.
This balanced approach is their big answer. It's a plan that deals with the emergency of right now while still keeping an eye on the future. And, it leaves us with the million-dollar question, right? Is this two-pronged attack? This mix of drafting for potential and signing for production, is it actually going to work? The logic seems pretty solid, but the execution has to be perfect. The young athletes have to develop, and the free agents have to prove that their past success with Anarumo wasn't just a fluke. It's a fascinating way to build a team, and now I really want to know what you guys think. Is this the right move for the Colts? Are Hendrickson and Taylor-Britt the instant fixes that they need? Let me know your take down in the comments below.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to NFL Nexus for more deep dives just like this one. And hey, if you're looking for a great way to support the channel and help us keep these videos coming, check out our collection of coloring books. They're perfect for any football fan in your life, young or old. You can find the link for that right in the description. Thanks for watching.